Alright, so I'm doing this by myself, so you gotta bear with me. What I'm doing is a leak down test. This is from that '06 Jeep Liberty 3.7. It's got a misfire that won't go away. I did a compression test. I got low compression around the board, and I did an injector balance test, so I know my injectors are working correctly. They're pulsing and omitting the same amount of fluid through each injector. Now I'm doing what's called a leak down test, and I'm distinguishing whether once you bring it up on the compression, whether it's leaking either through the intake valve, the exhaust valve, the crankcase, or in the head gasket. I made this before. This is actually goes over the radiator cap, and then I just tie you use a balloon. I ran out of them, but put a balloon on the end of a hose so that if it pumps up or air comes in, I know I got a head gasket leak that's leaking into the combustion. I put a rubber glove over top of the oil fill on this, or you can put it on like your valve cover or a PVC valve or whatever. So you know that if you're pumping, if air is escaping through the crankcase, then you'll know that you got bigger rings. So here we go. So I'm adding, and I got a big close up of that because I know it's leaking through the crankcase. Let's see. There you go. So you can see if air comes up. Alright, so I'm adding air right now into the cylinder, and I'm waiting to see if it escapes. See how there's air escaping into the crankcase? That shows that it's either got bad rings, valve seals, whatever, but I'm losing pressure through the crankcase. And baby, can you stop for a second?
What?
I'm trying to listen. Okay, through the crankcase. And through exhaust. Where is that intake? Through the intake. So that's that is a valve issue. I'll pause this for a minute. Alright, so now I'm going to number 5, and I'm gonna bring it up on compression. Set up. Oh. There we go, right here. Okay, so I'm going to add some air. through the intake. So I guess it actually needs a valve job. The valves probably ain't seating fully. On this side. Yeah. I already checked number 1. Now I'm going to go to number 2. This is the side 2, 4, and 6, and we're getting massive amounts in this one. I'm just trying to bring it up on the compression stroke. So I'm going to add some air to it. Yep. And you see how the glove is blowing up? See how the glove's blowing up? That's a head gasket. See, because there's air going from the cylinder into the combustion chamber or into the coolant system. You see how the air is blowing up in here? So it actually needs a head gasket. I'm going to let it fill all the way up. Let's see. See if we can get that to blow up faster. You see how it's blowing up? Babe, do me a favor. Can you close up on this? Yep, my assistant came back from picking up parts. Fantastic assistant. Just on the other side. See if you can close up on this air. See how it's blown up? So this truck actually needs rings and a head gasket. See how that's blown up?
Yep.
So I'm going to turn this off for a second, let all the air out. Then what I'm going to do, just to verify this, because you see how now it's starting to lose its pressure in the glove. What I'm going to do, and in the rings, combustion chamber, what I'm going to do is,
when you're finished, I'm going to pause this video so we can talk about some work-related issues.
okay. Okay, I drew all the air out of the system. Now I'm going to put this right here. And now I'm going to add air back into the cylinder to do the leak down test. And what we're trying to look for is air in the combustion chamber, which you should get a little bit because rings don't fully seal, but it shouldn't be that much. And we shouldn't get any, let me draw this down a little more. So there should be no air coming from your cylinders into your coolant system. So here we go again. I'm adding air to it. Right now, this is only 40 PSI.
The one on the bottom should be filling up with air?
No, not really, but it is. So now, right now, if you pay attention to the coolant bottle, glove, slowly it's leaking. You see how it's blowing up? Yeah, there's a combustion leak from the cylinder So it needs a head gasket. So the motor's no good. I mean, it needs a head gasket. But you see it blowing up? Can you zoom in on that?
It is.
Okay, so we have a large, it needs a head gasket. So this is a bad motor, or it's a bad head gasket. And most likely with the amount that's leaking past the rings, and on the other side, it's leaking through the valves, I would say we need to rebuild this motor. And I'm gonna have my assistant tie this into the other one so that we can see the full diagnosis on it. So this was a misfire, random misfire, without no codes other than PO 300. I did a injector balance test, and then I did a compression test which showed that it was low compression, and now I did a leak down test which confirmed the head gasket. There's other ways to go about it. I was just making this film for other people's knowledge. All right, thank you for watching, and God bless you, and God bless America.
Should I just pause it?
Yeah,
Or
turn it
stop
off.
it?
You turn it off. It's done.